Well, good afternoon. Here it is, the beginning of a work week, Monday, and you're with me today on our new consultant training call. I hope you're really excited that you've joined Norwex for a lot of different personal reasons, but most importantly, you're excited about the journey you're embarking on, creating safe havens, supporting our Norwex mission, but at the same time, I hope you're doing something for you. You know, I've been in this business for about 35 years, and I can tell you that I call it the paycheck of the heart. For many of you on the phone with me today, I think what you will come to discover is a beautiful self-affirmation feeling that starts to build inside you as you start doing your parties and sharing Norwex. Although we sign up, if you will, for a big mission, which is important and critical and so needed, and we carry such a strong, vital message, I think that what happens for us personally is we feel very good about what we're doing, that we're doing good work, and it helps us to develop our own self-esteem and our own confidence, and that is priceless, if you ask me. I can remember doing my first parties years ago with another company, and I was probably as nervous as some of you might be. You know, this industry, if you will, is what helped make me a good talker. And I know that a lot of my confidence for public speaking and for expressing myself came from doing parties, that I quickly learned that people liked me, they could trust me. And that was such a powerful feeling for me when I was sharing a product and would help them, you know, close up their order. And I can remember walking away from one of my very first parties and sitting in my car thinking, I can't believe that they bought products from me. They must trust me. They must have had a good time. So I'm excited for what's going to be as you venture forward. Does that sound familiar to some of you on the phone with me right now? That, oh, you've got all kinds of feelings going on, but mostly you're excited about what Norwex can do for you. Feel free to share. So today we're covering what is called call number 2. You've seen my picture. I'm Sheila Hercules. I am the Director of New Consultant Development and Leadership here at Norwex. And part of my role is to make sure that we give you very good training that is simple enough for you to feel confident at the get-go as you start your Norwex journey. We're going to cover today part of the New Consultant 5-step guide that came in your Party Starter Kit. Call number 1 covers step 1, 2, and 3. Today, I'm going to focus on step 4 and 5, but I'm going to do a little review of call number 1 because I like everyone to feel that they can be on any call and feel right in the moment with me, feeling that there wasn't anything that they missed, that I try to bring you up to speed. And for those of you who were just on call number 1, well, then this is just a terrific review, isn't it? So what did we cover on call number 1? So that's the first call. And for most of you, that usually happens when you register for these calls right away. Your kit is about to arrive or it has arrived. And look, I also know that some of you come back often to these calls because you enjoy hearing about Norwex. It makes you feel connected. It's a great way to start your week. Or you might have had a slow couple of weeks and you just feel like you really need a little bit of help getting your groove back on, if that makes sense. So I welcome all of you. So call number 1, it was really about scheduling your launch parties. Let's face it, how else is anyone ever going to know that you have just become a Norwex consultant and in fact have opened up a Norwex business? You have to launch this business and we recommend the launch party. Now, what's beautiful about Norwex, very generous in fact, we encourage you to be the host of your own launch parties. Now, we often recommend 2. And to me, the reason I say 2 launch parties, think about it. If you were going to do your launch party on a Tuesday night, but all your friends that you were going to invite have kids in sports that night, wow, you haven't given them an option to participate and support you. But by putting another launch party date out there, a Tuesday night and a Saturday afternoon, or a Monday night and a Thursday evening, you give your immediate warm market, your family and friends, you give them options and a way to support you, because they're more likely to say yes because your flexibility works with their schedule. Make sense? So hosting your launch parties, wow, what a gift that is. So there you are at your launch party, sharing those fabulous products with people. And more than likely, you are going to get orders, because everybody wants Norwex in their home. It just makes good sense. It makes sense for the environment, and it makes sense for families' pocketbooks, because it saves money, saves time, and saves the environment. So imagine, as the host now, you're going to get all of the party benefits of hosting that event. So there'll be the host rewards, for a booking, it'll be an EnviroCloth, it'll be, a % of your party sales in free merchandise. And then, of course, there's that collection of goodies that we put together each month for our hosts. You will get all of that on top of your earnings for the party. So it's truly a win-win. We talked about the importance of creating the list of who are you going to talk to. Now, we call that your Frankie list, because it just really is an acronym for the areas in your life where you probably have connections. So it's your friends, your relatives, your acquaintances, it's your neighbors. K stands for kids connections. Who do you know through your kids? And if you don't have kids, maybe you know people through your pets. And I is everything internet, social media, Facebook, email, texting. But the bottom line is, it's all about figuring out, well, who are my go-to people right away? Who are the people that I want to talk to and share this good news with? So it's a list of who you would like to do business with. And you've got to get working on that. I look at it this way. We all probably do some sort of grocery shopping, and yet most of us use a list. Now, you could argue that as a mom myself, I know I need cereal, milk, eggs, cheese, bread, meat, vegetables, fruits, but I write a list so I don't forget anything. And I think our business should run the same way. Write a list of the people you know so you don't forget anyone. And, sometimes you'll put a name on that list that you're thinking, I don't know if I've got the courage yet to call them. That's okay. Keep their name on the list so you won't forget them, so that when your confidence builds and you decide that you really can call your Aunt Mary, well, you've got her name on your list. The next thing we covered was, well, what words are you going to say? That's probably the number one thing I get asked in my career is, oh, Sheila, my heart's in the right place. And I've got a strong reason why I want to do this, but I just get tongue-tied. The words just get jumbled. And it's okay. Some of us need help with conversation starters. How can I have a professional sounding conversation as I'm launching my business? So we have put together, pardon me, an outline of how to create a power statement, a power conversation starter, if you will. It's about answering 3 thought starters and putting those thought starters together as the words you would say. And of course, well, booking parties, it's the lifeline of your business. So in the early stages, when your enthusiasm is sky high, that's the best time to reach out to the people you know on your Frankie list and put some parties on your calendar right away so that you immediately feel like, okay, this is my business. This is something I'm going to love doing, and I'm already feeling successful because I've got bookings in my calendar. Make sense? So you also have a Fresh Start program. You're probably very familiar with it. I like to refer to it as your suggested business plan for the first 90 days for a new consultant. It's got part of its program related to selling, and it's got part of the other program related to inviting people, recruiting. Men join our company, but I do talk in female terms, so I'm going to use both. my husband, he goes to the big Toronto car show. That's where we live. He doesn't go by himself. He brings a buddy. My sister joined a curling club, and she called me to join with her because it's a girlfriend thing. We like to do things together. So I think your business can have very much the same feeling, that right away you might be thinking of someone. Gosh, I bet you my friend Mary would love to do this alongside me. Well, your enthusiasm is really high. This would be the time to talk to Mary and think about having Mary join you. So it's something you two have in common, and you've got a buddy that you can sort of pace yourself with and keep each other encouraged. So that was call number 1. How was that for a quick refresher? You feeling comfortable already? Please write in and just let me know what you're thinking. So far, are we doing good? Is this what you were hoping our call would be like? I hope so. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So if I refer back to your 5 easy steps to get started, we put them into 5 categories. And so I wanted you to see within your booklet the parts I'm going to cover today. All right. And you might be wanting to follow along with me, but you know what? I say just listen really good and think about your business as we're going along. So this is what it looks like when it's on your back office. So we've got you covered. Whether you like to read paper, and some people like that booklet. They like to take it with them and use it. Others like everything online. So we've got the same thing online. I must tell you that what exists online is far more advanced in terms of having more resources available to you online, because that's where we can link to different video trainings, link to different documents. I mean, it just is the be all, center resource for you under training. Welcome New Consultants. You'll find a lot of stuff there. Now, that being said, do me a favor. Don't get lost in your internet. Next thing you know, you'll be on Facebook, and then you'll be checking, a sale on at Macy's or something, and you'll convince yourself that the last 2 hours that you just devoted on your computer were really all business. But come on, you and I both know we get on our computer and we just get lost in information. And I'm the first one to tell you that information is fabulous. And I'm not talking about the sale at Macy's either. But information is wonderful. But if you don't do anything with that information, if you don't take action with your information, then to me, in some ways, it's a little bit of a waste of knowledge, isn't it? Because no one's going to get to benefit from all of this good stuff you're learning. So I say pace your learning and make sure that you do a lot more action than you do learning. Because the truth is, this is a very simple business. When you think about it, you're just simply sharing with others through a social environment, whether that is live around a kitchen table, and we call that a party. You might call it a coffee chat, a demo, whatever. Or some of you will already get out there onto your social media platforms and do something on Facebook. But, the point is that get out there and do something with the knowledge that you're learning. This is a recap of your recruiting and sales plan, your fresh start. Aren't they wonderful products? I mean, just think about it. The first group, step 1, in your first 15 days, that's 2 weeks, collect $400 in orders, and that should easily be one of your launch parties, easily, or family and friends orders with your personal website. And you're going to get that package of product coming to you free of charge to begin using in your home and having, things like the Spironets for your kitchen, the veggie and fruit scrub cloth. Now you got one in your kit. Now you have an extra one that maybe you take to your parties to demo, and you keep one at home and use it, and you keep one for just your parties in your party bag. And I love our Spiri sponges a lot. They're one of my favorite products. And of course, the laundry detergent. So there's lots of great products that you'll earn through that program. Remember I said about your power statement, the words to say? I put it back up here on the screen so you could get a refresher. So it's these 3 thought starters, and you sort of finish off the sentence. So You know, you all have a very different reason for why you joined Norwex. Some of you joined, it's a very personal, compelling reason. It could be a health issue. Others of you feel a strong support to the mission. You believe that the world needs to pay attention and become more aware. For others of you, it could be that you just simply love these products and think everybody should be using them. So whatever reason, you had a good one for joining Norwex. And then what do you love most about what you're doing right now? Or what do you love most about what you're going to be doing? For many of you, the answer will be somewhat similar. You know, what I love most about what I'm going to be doing is sharing with family and friends and networking with others to teach people the things I was doing in my home to create a safe haven, getting rid of chemicals in my home. And I figured that lots of people would want to know about it. And the reason I'm so excited about sharing this with you is because I'm launching my business. I have some launch party dates to invite you to, or I'm filling up my party calendar for November. So you get to personalize it, but it does help you organize your thoughts to have a good conversation where you still might ask how the kids are and if the dog's been potty trained or not yet, but you at least get to have a nice business conversation focusing on the reason you thought of them and Norwex together. So let's get into the meat of today's call. So we're going to jump right into the party. Now, remember I said it could be a social media type event, Facebook. My preference today is that whatever works for you, and however your potential connections, family, friends, acquaintances, however they feel most comfortable. For many folks, it's still the same old sit around a kitchen table with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and hear about someone's great products and get to play with them, test them, feel them, smell them, use them, ask questions and visit socially. I mean, I still think that's high on everybody's list. But for some people who live long distance or just can't seem to get out of the house and attend a party, gosh, Facebook is a great way to connect with those people. And everybody actually can still sit in their pajamas and you can still be sharing Norwex because no one needs to know. But the whole idea of a party is that you get to share Norwex with many people at one time. And this is what will help build your customer base. And you know that average party earnings are about $170. That's just taking an average party of $500 at 35% earnings. Now, some of you will have parties right off the get-go that your first party could be, gosh, $800. And some of your parties will be about $400. Sorry, I had some background noise there. And so that is quite a good proposition, dollar per hour, part-time shift, having average party earnings of about $170. You know, bookings, in other words, filling your calendar. The easiest place to get bookings is at the party itself. And that's because people are actually in the moment living that party experience, aren't they? So what happens is they can see for themselves right away that this gathering, whether it was Facebook or around a kitchen table, was fun. People liked it. People were engaged. People were excited to learn and hear about Norwex products. And that works to your advantage when you're sharing your available dates because people can immediately recall the experience of what it would be like for them. So I love telling you that bookings from guests at the party, #1 priority. You also, and believe it or not, I know many of you are thinking, oh my gosh, what are you talking to me about teammates for? But the truth is, you have no idea what this business will bring you. So don't discount anything. The idea that other people would like to join you and do what you're doing and get involved, well, that's something that will probably be at every one of your parties. There will probably be somebody who would love to do what you're doing. And so your role, if you will, as the Norwex ambassador is to just make sure that you're meeting people's needs based on the services you have available to offer. Okay, that's my recruiting talk 101. Now, when we think about the party, you had a great little insert in your kit called the party cards. They came in a little package, and I encourage you to open them up. And in fact, what I might do is punch hole them, put them in the order that makes sense to me, and go through and, add any notes that I would like to add, and use these just as your note cards and practice with them. I mean, you could practice around your kitchen table with no one sitting there. You could practice in your living room and pretend the pillows are people, and just practice. What you're really practicing, I think, is just getting your rhythm going for the party so that you don't feel scattered, like, what do I do? That being said, I took a look at those party cards. Well, actually, I helped create them. And really, in a snapshot, there's 4 parts to the party, if you ask me. The first one is the welcome. And I mean, that's just common sense, good manners, isn't it? You got to welcome everybody. You've got to thank your host and your guests. And then they have to feel like they can get to know you. And the best way to do that is something even as simple as your power statement. You can use your power statement as a way to introduce yourself at your party. The next thing is you've got this beautiful catalog. And so why does Norwex exist? What is the purpose for Norwex and our business? Well, it's our Norwex mission, isn't it? And you'll want to share that proudly, that you're aligned with a company who has, a goal, a mission, if you will, to help eliminate the use of harmful chemicals in the home in order to help others create a safer haven. That's a pretty noble purpose. And I think people want to know that it's more than just selling someone a cloth. We're not in the business of just selling cloths. You can get a cloth anywhere. Norwex is a solution that comes in the form of a cloth, isn't it? I mean, it's a way to save money, save time, but at the same time, eliminate about 80% of the chemicals that are lurking in people's homes. So that's always an important part. The next is what I call the share and tell, right? You've got these fabulous products that were in your starter kit, and you'll want to introduce them to everybody and show them demos. And we've provided you a tip of what demo to do. And of course, it's a great way to let your guests also participate and, take butter off of a mirror, if you will. And this is probably the time where you could talk about, because there's a lot of excitement right now about the products and what they are doing, that they're working and that they're fabulous and people are amazed. This is the time to remind everybody, hey, tonight I'm going to share with you my available dates, because if you're thinking, that you've got people in your life who need to hear about this, we'll pencil in a date for you. This is also the right time. Well, all of it's right time, but this is also a good time to say, if you're sitting here tonight and for whatever reason, all of a sudden Norwex is just kind of become something that's gotten you very excited, perhaps you would like to get involved with our mission, get involved with our company. And so I encourage you to let me know at the end of our evening, because I'd like to chat with you and pay it forward. Someone offered me an opportunity to get involved, and I'd like to give you that same opportunity. And then comes the special time when you're sitting down with someone one-on-one and they've been at your party. And this is the time where you are really connecting with each guest, right? Hey, did you have a good time tonight? Was it fun for you? What did you like about it? Now, they probably have an order in their hand, but I'm not saying that the first thing you should do is grab the order out of their hand and say, oh, boy, you went on a nice shopping spree. No, I think it's more about connecting with someone and, finding out if they had a good time, and then saying, let's take a look at what products you'd like to start Norwex with. And this is the time also when, you can even say, now, before we get started, Do you want to take a look at my available dates? Because there's opportunity in November for you to have me over, and we can have a cup of coffee with your friends and family. And you might also say something like, and I'm not quite sure, but I want to ask everyone, Norwex is growing. It's a huge movement, if you will. Would you like some information about getting involved with Norwex? Does it look appealing to you? So I don't know about you, but I don't think those sounded pushy. I don't think I sounded aggressive. I think if you were to sort of think about how you're feeling right now based on my sort of role play conversation, I was just really trying to meet people where they are at and making sure that I've serviced them, right? Doesn't that make sense to you? So moving along, this is something, and you might want to take a picture of this with your camera or a screenshot. This is something that if you thought you liked these words and they felt natural for you, you might want to use something like this when you're closing and visiting with each person one-on-one. So close your eyes for a minute, and I want you to imagine what it sounds like and what it feels like to you, because I know you won't say anything that doesn't feel comfortable to you, right? That's how we maintain our integrity. Close your eyes and pretend I was the consultant, and you sat down beside me and I said, "Oh, thanks for coming tonight. Did you enjoy yourself? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, did you get everything you need for yourself or others tonight at the party? Because look, if there's anything else that you've got on a wish list or a gift list, I'd love to help you earn that for free and learn more about Norwex and our products by hosting a party with me. What do you think? Should we look at a few dates and maybe pencil something in?" Okay, open your eyes, take a picture, take a screenshot. But most importantly, and I would love your feedback, did it sound natural to you? Could you see yourself saying something similar to this? And if you feel that you could say something pretty similar, then I'm encouraging you from the get-go to make this part of the conversation that you have with everyone when you sit down with them. Okay, thank you. Deborah says, yes, it sounds very simple. Doesn't sound pushy, does it? I got to be honest. I guess because I've been in this industry so long, I know what I'm getting sold to. I mean, not just this industry, but I walk into any retail store. I know when someone's hounding me or pressuring me, or the clerk that is stalking me in the store. I don't like that, because that was never my style either. I like honest, upfront, genuine communication. And so I'm all about that, all about that. And Bennett said, of course, it's so easy. It is, isn't it? All right, let's move along. So let's get back to the product for a moment that you'll be showcasing. I'm going to tell you now, keep it simple. Do not be bringing in cartfuls of stuff out of the trunk of your car. There's a saying that says a confused mind says no. And I'm not suggesting that any of you wear eyeglasses like I do, but I can tell you that when I go to look for a new pair of eyeglasses, if I've got 10 on the counter and have to choose between one, chances are I get a little frustrated and say, today's not the day to look for glasses. My hair's a mess. I'll come back another day. I like a smart clerk at the optometrist to say, before we start trying on glasses, let's weed some of these out. Let's sit down with just a smaller group of glasses so you really get a sense of what appeals to you. I think the same could be said about our Norwex party. The products that were given to you in your kit are our top selling products. The Enviro and Window Dusting Mitt, Ultra Power Plus Laundry Detergent, the mop, and our cleaning paste. The body pack is another strong seller. What I love about this in your kit, you have 3 of them. So you could use one at home. You could take one to your party. And if you needed to kickstart from your launch party to get one booking, you could offer one of your body pack cloths as a booking gift to help get the ball rolling. The veggie and fruit scrubber cloth, pardon me, I just have to cough. Pardon me. Simple demo. A carrot. You just take a carrot and showcase that. To me, this is a must-have kitchen helper. I use mine all the time for potatoes, carrots, even cantaloupe and watermelon. Just a side note, do you know that one of the most contaminated fruits for E. coli is a cantaloupe? Most people don't think to wash their cantaloupe, and they take a knife and slice through it. Well, that knife is slicing through bacteria and drags it through to the middle of the cantaloupe, the fleshy part, and deposits it there. That's why cleaning some of this fruit that you say, well, I don't eat the outside, it's important to clean. Oh, true story, that, by the way. And of course, the bathroom scrub mitt is great for you to keep it at home in your bathroom. But I'll tell you, the bathroom scrub mitt is very much, in some ways, feels a bit like the dusting mitt. You know, you could take your dusting mitt to your party, use it damp on things like a window screen, and, the bathroom scrub mitt, it's microfiber. I'm not talking about the scrub mesh. It is a great tool in the bathroom, but, I'm not suggesting to use it this way, but if push comes to shove, a bathroom scrub mitt in good condition makes an excellent dusting mitt too. So you focus, though, on the top 5 as your product demos. So you clean the fruit. Deborah's asking, you clean the fruit with your veggie and fruit scrub cloth. You can scrub the outside of your cantaloupe. We also sell, just so you know, a fruit and veggie liquid cleaner. And I have one under my sink. In fact, I'm not kidding you. This morning in Toronto, as I was getting dressed and ready to head to the airport, I noticed that my husband bought grapes. They were in the fridge, and my mom lives with me, and I know she loves grapes. So there I did. I put the grapes in cold water and added a squirt of my fruit and veggie cleaner, let it sit for 5 minutes, rinse the grapes, and put them back in the fridge for my mom. You could do the very same thing with a watermelon or cantaloupe. Absolutely. All right. So I wanted to show you some resources that can help you with your product knowledge. Now, do not think you have to be an expert on all the product. That's just crazy. That's crazy. That's like walking into Macy's and asking the girl in the women's section if she has worn and tried on every blouse that Macy's sells. Or going to the jewelry section and asking her if she's worn every watch that Macy's sells. Or walking into a car dealership and asking a car salesman if he owns one of every car in the lot. Come on, that just doesn't happen. What you need to focus on are our top 10 products. And from there, you will eventually acquire knowledge on other products, partly because of your own personal use or a testimony from another customer, or because a customer has asked you. I'll give you, my favorite example is Leather Shine, okay? I use that one all the time as my example. A customer might ask you, oh, what do you know about the Leather Shine? Your best answer, if this is true, actually not a product I'm yet familiar with. I would love to find out, get some product information for you, and follow back up with you. Would that work for you? Not once did you hear me give a song and a dance about, oh yeah, it's fabulous, blah, blah, blah. No. Very honest. And I'm telling you, me to you right now, honestly, I don't know about Leather Shine. I've never used it in my house. I don't have anything leather. There you go. So I wouldn't know where to tell somebody about how it works and how it doesn't work. I'm telling you, if you asked me as Sheila Hercules, talk to me about Leather Shine, I'd say, well, actually, because you're a consultant, I would say, well, I can tell you where you can find out about it. If you were my customer, I'd find out for you. So I just want you to ease up on the idea that you have to know everything. And if it helps, remember my story about the clerk at Macy's. She doesn't have to know every blouse, how every blouse in the department fits. But there are some flyers, if you will, that I love. This is my absolute favorite. And I'll show you where to find it. In fact, it's right here. It's called Norwex Savings Flyer, okay? Under Resources, Product Information Sheets. This is what it looks like, a little small. Here's my advice for you at your party. Why not download this from your computer, print it out on a color printer. Find somebody who has a color printer. Buy an acrylic picture frame, 8.5 by 11, frame this and make this part of your display. You see, the curiosity of most people, they'll recognize everything in the middle column. They'll see all those all-purpose household spray cleaners and figure out which one is which and which ones are under their bathroom sink. They'll recognize that glass cleaner and think about how many they've got lurking in their home. Oh, yes, and dusting spray. Yep, they've got one of those. And all those different little mops that have disposable throwaway little cleaning pads and different laundry detergents, blah, blah, blah. What it does is it helps people to recognize what's sitting at home in their bathroom cupboards, laundry cupboard, under the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and start questioning themselves. Gosh, how many chemical type products do I really have in my house? What it does is it shows you the simplified version of what you can use in Norwex to really evergreen your house, so to speak, to remove those chemicals and know that you're cleaning mostly with water and that you're saving your family money. So Norwex is very much a budget-friendly company. Now, the other favorite I love is What Cloth for What Job. And well, guess what? It's in your catalog. Make sure you point that page out to people. It lets people know that we are so much more than just an Enviro cloth. We have different cloths for different jobs. That's my extent of product knowledge. That's it. I got nothing more to say about product knowledge. I think that's a great base to work from. Now, the party. You'll see here, this is taken right from the guidebook. So launch party again. When are your launch party dates? Then we have a party checklist. You know, done. Party cards. In fact, we've got a video that you can watch that show all the party cards being used in a live demo done by Sonia Eckel. We even got a packing list, what to pack to your parties. So when you think about it, I'd like to think that we've really simplified this process and made it very easy for you. We've already done your checklist for you, so to speak. As you get started, I'm going to challenge you on a few thoughts. I want to get your mind into the game, so to speak. It's not a game, but that's just an expression. Why do you use Norwex products? And why do you think others would want to use Norwex products? I think the answer is pretty evident. Your experience will be their experience, and let's face it, it just makes sense. The next thing I want you to think about is, well, why would someone host a Norwex party or a get-together? Why do you think they would? What would be the benefits to people for doing that? Why would someone even attend a Norwex party or a get-together? What do you think all the benefits are for someone who comes to a Norwex party? Maybe you went to a Norwex party or two. What were your benefits? What did you think about the party? Weren't you glad you went? And lastly, there's a reason, as I said, and this reason might deepen or change a bit or adjust somewhat, but you had a reason why you decided to become a Norwex consultant. I want you to open your mind up as to, well, why do you think someone else would want to do what you do? What could it be about being a Norwex consultant that is appealing to people? Bookings. Your business is all about bookings on a calendar. You have to believe that there's value in booking a Norwex party, that it's a generous reward of a house full of products, and that it's an easy and fun way for someone to create their own safe haven in just one visit, one party. You also have to believe that others want to share Norwex with their friends and family, and that people, yes, despite all our texting and nonverbal communication these days, yes, we're craving social get-togethers, especially if it's all about discovering new and useful information and solutions. We're built that way. And bookings, it's not something you're going to beg for or ask for. There is value in what you do. So you are giving people your available dates. You're not begging for them to take one. Now, host coaching. The host is most important part of your Norwex business. If you think about it for a moment, aside from when you're booking and hosting your own parties, she's really giving you her real estate for the night, isn't she? She's opening up her kitchen or her Facebook account. So she's lending you her real estate in order for you to pop up and open up your business for the night. So how many of you have hosted a Norwex party? How many of you will continue to host your own Norwex party on a regular basis? Why not? You're encouraged to do that. Host benefits. What have your hosts, if you've had a party, told you about their host experience? Going forward, when you start booking and having your parties, ask your hosts what they think about their host experience. If you yourself have hosted a Norwex party, well, what did you feel about the Norwex rewards, the host benefits? Did you feel that they were generous, delighted, thought that it was a wonderful way to spend an evening and walk away with all of this fabulous product as a thank you? So host coaching. Host coaching really starts when you share your available dates and you sort of get that commitment, albeit in pencil, to start working with someone. It starts when you give someone the host packet to take home and start organizing and planning for their party. It starts when you use booking seeds during your party to suggest that everybody could take one of your available dates and they too could be sharing Norwex with the people they care about. And it really starts the moment you invite someone to book a party. The key word here is invite. You know, we do a great job in many ways of announcing things, but your business won't grow through announcing. You must make it an invitation. It has to be personal. You just can't stand there and say, well, Norwex has great host benefits. Well, that's a wonderful announcement, but it certainly didn't mean anything to me. It wasn't personal to me. But if you said, Sheila, I think you'd have a wonderful get together with your family and friends because you already seem excited about this safe haven journey. What do you think? Could I share my available dates with you? Well, now that's an invitation. So why do we host coach? Why bother with host coaching? Do you think you can book a party and just walk in there and show up? She's wondering, just like you are as a new consultant, can she do it? Is it fun? Is it going to be worth it? And who's going to help her? Host coaching just really demonstrates your commitment to her and her experience. She just wants to have a good event for you. Of course she can do it. Having a few people around her kitchen table. Is it fun? Well, you tell me if you think it's fun, right? Is it worth it? Well, again, I've asked you to challenge yourself on the host rewards. And your job is to help her through what we call host coaching. So host coaching is really a way of a 3-connection strategy. So the first connection is really a thank you and to build on the excitement. The second call is really about, tell me about the guests. What can I do? So the thank you happens maybe the next day after you have the booking. And the second call, tell me about the guests, about a week before the party. And then the last call could be the day before the party or the day of the party. And it's just last minute details. That's really host coaching. Now, you have in your 5-step guide some more specific things you could cover, but this is really the big gist of it all when you think about it, isn't it? It's pretty simple. And coaching, that's a big, heavy word for the reality of having just a great conversation about their excitement about the booking. They might have a Norwex wish list. Sharing the date with, assume that they have a little Frankie list, right? So, she might say, well, my sister would come. And you might say, wow, does your sister have a friend? Would she like to bring a friend? Or as you're going through her her party and you talk about guests, you say, well, let's see, what friends would you like to invite? Do you have any relatives? What about acquaintances? What about neighbors? What about kids' connections? So you can be a thought starter for her in who she knows and who she would like to invite using something just like the Frankie list, the same way you filled out yours when you were starting your business. And then, of course, helping her with ideas to build the guest list, like I just said. Hey, who does your sister Maggie know? And keeping it simple. This is not a full-on kitchen gourmet cooking show where there's pots and pans everywhere and you're making a 3-course meal. Nope. It is coffee and maybe cookies, or water and maybe cookies, or not. And to me, it's sitting around casually, socially connecting, hanging out. It's like a girls' hangout night or guys' hangout night. And as I said here, as an example, is the picture of this page right from your new consultant 5-step guide. So we've covered host coaching and partnering with your host. Now, you know what? One of your opportunities, and if you think about it, you know, I don't know if you've ever looked at it, but have you ever given thought to how much money you spend a year? Before you got involved with Norix, how much money you might have spent in a year on household cleaning supplies and household personal care products? You know, they say that the average North American family spends in excess of $600 a year in just cleaning products, just cleaning products. And for some families, when you add in paper towel, it could be a lot higher. So you have the potential to earn a customer for a long time, not just the one evening at the party. So if you want to have a customer base, I love this saying that customers go where business is invited, but they'll stay where their business is cared for. So you have an opportunity to earn repeat business and maintain customers through customer care. Now, through your Office Suite subscription, you actually can turn on a 222, as we call it, customer care program in your back office. And even if you just like a simple paper form, 222, what does that really mean? Think about it. It's just a little system. You want to call people after the party and thank them for coming and thank them for their order. Appreciate their confidence in you and Norwex. And then at some point, maybe 2 weeks after the party, you want to check in and see how they're liking the products. And by the third call, maybe 60 days out, if you've done your thank you call and your check-in and make sure everything is wonderful call, the third call, it's not a cold call. You're not strangers. You're connecting in and seeing if there's something more you can offer. Is it time for a reorder? Is it time to look at the wish list? Is it time to host a party? If you believe, as I do, that the average North American spends in excess of $600, the average customer spend at your party is probably about $80. The way I see it, you can potentially have a customer shop with you for $80 6 times a year, 5 times a year, 4 times a year. That's pretty powerful when you think about it that way. Now, as you begin to submit your party orders and look at all of the resources we have, under training, there's a place called Get to Know Your Consultant Office. Here you're going to see, for example, this is the tutorial on how to set up the 222 alerts. Actually, it was down here at the bottom of my screen, 222 follow-up alerts. Here's an example of some of the other PowerPoint trainings that live on your back office that can help you figure and navigate through your little portal that allows you to run your business on the Norwex office. So if we think about the party, all right, I think we've covered a lot. I sure hope you feel empowered to not only host a couple of launch parties, but to keep hosting your own party every month. And know that you've got all the resources there for a party checklist and to practice with those party cards. Watch the video. Think about how you want your party to go. I'd say most parties are, I'd say about an hour, hour and a half long. Now, I'm a big talker. Mine could go longer. And if you think about the product demo, you've got 5 core products, and then those body cloth, fruit and veggie scrubber, bathroom scrub mitt. I mean, you don't even have to demo the bathroom scrub mitt. I can tell you that, please, I would not be going into any customer party. I wouldn't be going into anybody's bathroom on the first time I'm ever working with this group. I don't know what I would see when I pull back the shower curtain. Mine is all about that sort of core products and getting people to create a safer haven. And there are other great products, as you know, once you sort of get past the basic core group, when you get into sort of specialty, like how do I clean this bathroom shower tub stall that is so filthy? We've got great products for it, but I wouldn't start with that. So that's why I say bring the bathroom scrub mitt or don't bring it. Keep it in your bathroom. I mentioned a lot about Office Suite. If you have not taken advantage of it, as a new consultant, you have 2 months free. I encourage you to go back in and subscribe to it. I mean, it's what gives you a personal website right away. It has a whole host of other benefits. You've got a customer electronic newsletter, and you have that whole marketing center reports. Imagine being able to pull up a report that says, tell me all my customers who bought laundry detergent. Now, today you might not think that's important. Fast forward 4 months from now. Don't you think you'd want to know every customer that bought laundry detergent? Is it time to talk to them about different products that go with laundry? The other thing is, gosh, we've got a lot of information in this company, right? Lots of emails. So I put it in this little 4-part box to help you think about how to put your month together. So let's think about your customers first. Well, we have customer specials. We reveal those customer specials to you on the 15th of the month prior to the month. So November 15th, you'll find out what we're offering customers in December. That gives you a 2-week heads up. The same thing with the hosts, because you want to work in the month that you're in, right? So on November 15th, you're going to find out what hosts are going to receive as benefits in December. Now, we have different incentives to support new consultants joining us, just like you. We don't give you any advance notice. We do not want people making decisions over, gosh, do I want this special or do I want that special? I kind of have the belief that when the enthusiasm is right and the decision gets made, it's time to make a move and go for it. I don't think it's good practice to hem and haw, and I'm being funny here. Do I want the pink cloth or do I want the blue cloth? Or do I want to wait and see if they ever come out with a yellow cloth? Well, guess what? Nothing's ever happening, right? A confused mind says no. So we don't give you a heads up on what's going on for new consultants. And we don't give you a heads up on what's happening for you. We let you finish the month you're in, close up that business and feel good about it, finish it off with gusto, and now a new month begins. We like to declutter and help you focus on your business. So that's really how you'll come to learn about all the different information that we share with you. Those are the key dates. We call our consultant magazine, if you will, Impressions. And then we have a Norwex News that comes out on the 1st of the month. And then we have periodic emails otherwise. So I think we've got you covered. For Canada and in the United States, we have 2 dedicated centers consultant care centers, one in Manitoba, one here in Texas. The sole responsibility of that team is to serve and support you. They're a phone call away. I encourage you, pick up the phone. You got a question, reach out and ask someone. You've got your recruiter that brought you into Norwex, and you're part of a group, so you would have a leader of your group. You've got a regional sales manager that works, a group of states. You've got your Norwex back office as a resource, and you've got our consultant care. But in closing, most of it's going to be up to you. You might have a lot of belief, and the skill you need is pretty simple. You're sharing. The one thing I can't do for you today on this call is I can't get your feet to move. You're going to have to take the first step. It's my hope that what I've been able to inspire you with over this past hour we shared together is that you have a driving passion to do something with this Norwex, to do something for you. And I hope I was able to be a part of your journey and set you up for that success. So before I close off, are there any comments or questions? I want to thank you all for hanging with me for the hour, and I hope you had a really good time, and come back as often as you want for these calls. Every Monday at 2 p.m. Central, every Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Central. There will always be someone live, myself, Sheila Hercules, or my sidekick, Demario Scott, our senior field development manager, works alongside me. There'll always be someone here, a real live voice, to help you journey forward. Thank you, Heather. Well, I want to be respectful of your time. We say it's an hour. And listen, I have a favor to ask. If you felt that this webinar was valuable for your time, would you tell your leader about it or tell your recruiter and remind them that Sheila says everybody should come on these calls if they need a little pick-me-up? Because I believe right now we are into our strongest selling season. October is all about partying for a cause, helping to raise funds and awareness for breast cancer research. But I also know that this is the time of the year where we start cocooning. The kids are back in school, the carefree, hazy, lazy days of summer. And as we start to live in a more closed-in environment, meaning that for some of us the weather gets cooler, we close our windows, we start paying attention to the air that we're breathing inside our home. So Norwex naturally, for the purposes of indoor living, really sees a surge in interest in these months that we think about turning on our furnace and we think about closing up the windows and not having as much fresh air. So I encourage you to get out there and make it happen. Have a great week. Thank you so much for coming on the call, and do check in as often as you'd like. You're always welcome. Bye for now.